Hi friends, welcome back. Today we're exploring one of the oldest and most famous success books ever written. It is called Think and Grow Rich, written by a man named Napoleon Hill. Here's an amazing fact. Hill spent over 20 years studying more than 500 of the richest, most successful people of his time, trying to find the hidden pattern behind their success. After all those years of research, he discovered something surprising. Wealth doesn't start with money, luck, or connections. It starts inside a person's own mind. He organized everything he learned into a set of powerful principles. Today, we will explore 10 of his biggest ideas together, one at a time, with simple stories and examples. Let's open up our minds and begin. The first principle is, burning desire is the starting point of all achievement. Hill explains that every great success in history began as a single, small desire inside someone's mind, a wish that grew stronger and stronger until it became a burning, unstoppable fire that pushed the person forward, no matter what obstacles appeared. He warns, though, that a weak wish is not enough. Simply saying, "I'd kind of like to be successful someday," rarely leads anywhere, but a definite burning desire, one so strong that a person is willing to work hard, sacrifice comfort, and push through failure again and again, is often the true starting spark behind every great achievement. Hill encourages people to define their desire clearly, exactly what you want, exactly why you want it, and exactly what you're willing to give in return to achieve it. The second principle is faith, truly believing you can achieve your goal even before you see proof of it. Hill teaches that our minds have a powerful habit. Whatever we picture clearly and believe deeply, again and again, our mind starts treating as true and slowly guides our actions to help make it real. This isn't about wishful daydreaming. Hill explains that faith grows through repeatedly picturing your goal clearly in your mind, feeling the belief in your heart, and taking consistent action, even when you can't yet see the whole path ahead of you clearly. Just like walking through thick fog, you may not be able to see all the way to the destination, but if you trust the path and keep moving forward, one step at a time, the fog slowly clears as you go. The third principle is autosuggestion, the practice of feeding your own mind with positive repeated messages. Hill explains that our minds are constantly listening to whatever thoughts we repeat to ourselves, whether positive or negative. If we constantly tell ourselves, "I always fail," our mind starts believing it, and our actions follow that belief. But if we consistently and sincerely repeat positive, confident thoughts about our goals, our mind gradually begins believing those instead. He suggests writing down your clear goal and reading it out loud to yourself with real feeling and belief, both morning and night, every single day. Over time, this repeated practice plants the goal deeply into your subconscious mind, which then quietly works in the background, guiding your daily choices toward achieving it. A fourth principle is specialized knowledge, gathering the specific information you truly need for your goal, rather than trying to know everything about everything. Hill points out an important difference. General knowledge, the kind you learn broadly in school, is useful, but by itself, it rarely creates great wealth. What truly matters is gathering specialized knowledge, specific, deep information directly related to your particular goal or field. He shares that many of the wealthiest people he studied were not necessarily the most broadly educated people. Instead, they focused deeply on mastering the specific knowledge needed for their one particular goal, and then surrounded themselves with other experts to fill in whatever knowledge gaps remained. So instead of trying to learn a little bit of everything, Hill suggests focusing your learning energy specifically on what your own goal truly requires. The fifth principle is imagination, the workshop where all ideas and plans are first created. Hill explains that nearly everything ever built by humans first existed only as an idea inside somebody's imagination, long before it became real. Imagination is like a workshop inside your mind, where you can combine old ideas in brand new ways or dream up something that has never existed before. He encourages people to actively use their imagination on purpose, regularly asking, "What if I combined this idea with that idea?" Or, "What new solution could solve this old problem?" Rather than assuming imagination is only for artists or inventors. Hill believed that the plans for turning any desire into real wealth are always built first inside the imagination, before a single real-world step is ever taken. The sixth principle is organized planning, turning your desire into a clear, step-by-step plan of action. Hill teaches that a burning desire and strong faith alone are not enough. You also need an organized, practical plan for how you will actually achieve your goal. Without a clear plan, even the strongest desire can end up wandering aimlessly, without real direction. He also encourages surrounding yourself with a small group of skilled, trustworthy people who can help build and carry out your plan, since very few great achievements in history were accomplished entirely alone. Hill's advice: write your plan down clearly, and if your first plan doesn't work, don't give up on the goal. Simply adjust the plan and try again, since the goal stays fixed, but the plan can always be flexible. The seventh principle is decision, the habit of making choices quickly and firmly, rather than staying stuck for a long time. Hill studied many people who never achieved their goals and noticed a common pattern. They were extremely slow to make decisions and extremely quick to change their minds once they had made one. Meanwhile, the most successful people he studied made important decisions quickly and firmly, and rarely changed those decisions unless truly necessary. He believed that constantly delaying decisions or endlessly asking everyone else's opinion before deciding anything often quietly drains a person's confidence and momentum over time. So Hill's advice is, gather the important facts you need, then make your decision firmly and move forward with confidence, instead of staying stuck forever at the fork in the road. The eighth principle is persistence, refusing to quit, especially right before success finally arrives. Hill shares many stories of people who came achingly close to success, but gave up right before their big breakthrough finally happened. He believed persistence, the simple willingness to keep going, even after failure, even after rejection, even after exhaustion, was one of the biggest differences between those who succeeded and those who quietly gave up too early. He describes persistence as a habit that can actually be trained and strengthened, just like a muscle. Every time you push through a hard moment, instead of quitting, your persistence grows a little stronger for the next challenge. Hill's warning is simple but powerful. Many people give up at the exact moment they were closest to succeeding, simply because they couldn't see how close they truly were. The ninth principle is the mastermind, the incredible power created when two or more people work together toward a shared goal. Hill explains that when a small group of people combine their knowledge, effort, and enthusiasm together in a true spirit of teamwork, they create a special kind of extra energy that no person could ever create completely alone. He calls this powerful teamwork effect the mastermind principle. He shares that many of history's greatest achievements were not accomplished by lone geniuses working in isolation, but by small groups of trusted people, each contributing their own strengths, working closely together toward one shared, clear goal. So Hill encourages surrounding yourself with a small circle of supportive, skilled people who truly believe in your goal, because their combined energy and ideas can help you achieve far more than you ever could completely alone. The 10th and final principle is learning to recognize and outwit the common fears that quietly hold most people back. Hill identified several common fears that he believed silently block many people from ever pursuing their biggest goals. Fear of poverty, fear of criticism from others, fear of poor health, fear of losing love, fear of growing old, and fear of death itself. He explains that these fears often operate quietly in the background of our minds, without us even fully noticing them, yet they still shape our choices, making us play too safe, avoid risks, or give up on big dreams before we even try. Hill's advice is to shine a bright light directly on these fears, to name them clearly, examine them honestly, and realize that most of them are far less powerful and far less likely than our imagination makes them feel. Once truly examined in the light, these shadowy fears often shrink down to a much smaller, much more manageable size. Let's review everything we learned together one more time. Desire, a burning, clearly defined wish, is where every achievement begins. Faith, believing deeply in your goal, even before you can see the whole path. Autosuggestion, repeating positive, focused thoughts to reshape your own mind. Specialized knowledge, gathering the specific information your goal truly needs. Imagination, the mental workshop where every great idea is first created. Organized planning, turning your desire into a clear, step-by-step plan of action. Decision, making firm choices quickly, instead of staying stuck for too long. Persistence, refusing to quit, especially right before success finally arrives. The mastermind, combining forces with others creates far greater power together. Outwitting fear, naming and examining your fears shrinks their power over you. Napoleon Hill's biggest message, after 20 years of studying the wealthiest people of his time, was this: wealth and success don't begin with money. They begin as a clear thought inside someone's mind, fed by desire, faith, and persistent action. So the next time you dream of achieving something big, remember, your thoughts truly are the very first step. What will you choose to think and grow today?